Am I better than everyone?
You know what else has finished the modern day gaming industry? Because evidently in Ghost of Yotei now, the main character is non binary. Watch the end of the video to fully understand the implications of this and how this will only lead to more gamers walking away and a furthering collapse of the industry. Today's video comes from Quasar. His channel will be linked in the description, so you can go check him out and support him. Now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
Ghost of Yotei. Rip. You know it's true.
We have another humiliation happening in video games as PlayStation just unveiled that it's available to wishlist Ghost of Yotei. This is another game that Sucker Punch might want to delay for a year. We've seen a lot of problems lately, and gosh, this type of thing is upsetting gamers as the characters they love are getting replaced with diversity, equity, and inclusivity.
Yeah, this game, the marketing, the everything surrounding this has so many red flags around it. It's insane. Now, I personally don't care if you're playing a woman, because I typically always choose to play a woman because hot, duh. Why would I not, effectively? But despite that, everything else is giant red flag. The developers, what has been said, the actors, the voice actors, the things that the developers are doing. Oh my god, there's no way this is gonna succeed. People can smell that this is a Vogue DUI-infested pile of dung miles away. And, well, people have gotten pretty smart about this type of stuff. And, well, from incels to no money sells. That's what this is turning to be in. Well, for the companies at least. And that's a good thing. We should and need to punish bad behavior. And this is some of the worst behavior that no one wants. They should respect the consumers, aka us, not try to do some completely brain-damaged political pandering that no one literally cares about. Okay? Do that at your own free time, okay? I don't care how many rainbow marches you participate in. Well, actually, I do care, and I hope it's 0. But still, at least don't put it in the games. Unless you don't want anyone to buy them, and then flop. I don't know what's wrong with PlayStation. They won the console wars. Xbox literally gave up. And they were still, hold my beer, buddy. I can't let you go down alone. Well, not that consoles matter, because consoles are shit in general, but you get the point.
As always. And we're going to get into this in just a moment and the reaction that fans had from the Ghost of Tsushima original game. Not good for PlayStation in just a moment. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things in the culture, especially science fiction and fantasy. My name's John Delarose, and I am a science fiction author and a comic creator. This is my newsletter sign-up, which is
great channel, but the newsletter sign-up and intro is 20 seconds too long, buddy, please.
So much for just making everything a success so far.
But he has
you guys
good
are the
shit.
modern audiences
That's
that
true.
I'm looking for. Not quite the modern audiences that PlayStation's looking for. So this is what they posted today. Ghost of Yotei, the next adventure from Sucker Punch Productions, is available to wishlist today. And then they have a link, of course, which you can load and then check it out on the PlayStation Store. Here it is, the announcement, and it's going to release in 2025, as they say. Now, this game got savaged about a month ago when people started noticing differences from
This game is still being savaged. There's not anyone talking positively about this.
Ghost of Tsushima. Like normal, like in every sort of thing, it got replaced with a strong female lead. And since they replaced the character in that front, people started going, this doesn't look good. Now, it actually caused division.
If this was a Blizzard game, she would be at least half black and have an amputated arm. Don't know what's wrong with Blizzard and cutting women's arms off, but they're doing it to pretty much everything.
Among gamers, because some were like, look, this is just if this is a side story, if it's a different story or whatever, we don't care that much. This might be good. The original game was good. And then people started looking into the production. And sure enough, Sucker Punch Productions had a bunch of DEI stuff all over their little website and all the other things that they do. It looks like the design team and the devs that were the original Ghost of Tsushima people were not involved in this. And then it was replaced by also a mostly female team. Now,
yeah. Oh, is he gonna show? There was a great picture of there's so many actually great pictures.
And this is absolutely incredible, guys. So, the development team for Ghost of Yotai was replaced almost entirely by an all-female development team. And simply put, this is not to say that there are not great female coders out there. There are not great female developers out there. But as in terms of the number of female developers, the number of female coders available, you have a much smaller pool to choose from. So you're not getting the best of the best, the creme de la creme. This is absolutely great for us, though, because what's happening is all of these men who lost their jobs, they're pissed off now. They're going to go and they're going to form indie development studios. They're going to start building games at home using Unreal Engine or what other engines are out there, and they're going to build their own games. And these games are not going to be funded by BlackRock. And they're pissed off. These men are pissed off, guys. This is where it gets great because they're firing all the people who know how to make games and they're pushing them out of the industry to replace them by women. And again, there are many amazing, very talented, extremely intelligent women who work in the gaming industry. However, to get the best of the best, you need a large pool to choose from. And there's a much smaller pool of female developers than men. It's something like 10%, if that, to men. So you're not getting the best. You're not getting the creme de la creme. You're getting just a bunch of woke divists. And that's when you're going to end up with a game that looks much worse than the previous title that came out 5 years ago, sometimes 10 years ago. I'm not joking. That's why you now have PlayStation 5 games that are remakes of PlayStation 4 games, and the remakes look way worse than the original that came out on PlayStation 4 10 years ago. And you're like, how is this possible? And it's because the people who are developing it don't know how to program. They don't know how to code. It's buggy. It's ugly. It's a mess. Because they're getting rid of all the guys that know how to code. They're replacing them with women. They're replacing them with soy boys. And again, there are many great female developers, but they're replacing them with women just for the sake of having women. Not based on merit, not based on the best person for the job is getting the job. So this is great for us as a group of people. It's great for us as a society. I know you're going to say, Angry, you're crazy. No, because these people, it's going to hurt, guys. These are growing pains. The gaming industry needs to crash. It needs to collapse so this crap can come to an end. And now that these developers are independent, they will go independent. They will start banding together, making their games at home. I understand a bit of game development, and I can explain to you that a lot of the assets that are used in games can actually be purchased. So they can purchase many of the assets. There are, of course, some people in the community that are very toxic, and they're like, "Oh, these are reused assets. You purchased these assets. They're not original made assets. I don't want to play." But the assets look great. I don't care. I want someone to draw them and put them in manually. I'm going to throw a storm. So a lot of these developers can basically turn around and develop these games now on a shoestring budget. And these games will look and play just as good in many cases, if not better, than the games that they previously worked on, because they're working with technology that is now advanced, from 5 or 10 years ago. They're not working on Unreal 4, they're working on Unreal 5. They have, they're using DLSS now, or FSR3, and these things really make a difference. They have tools. And guys, there's a lot of tools that are going to be coming along that are going to make developing games happen much more rapidly and faster. It's not a matter of having games that are just AI generated, but more so being able to have tools that will allow you to do simulations faster, allow you to create assets much faster so you can focus on the game itself, the gameplay itself, the characters, and so forth. So these are growing pains, but the wonderful thing is that because these large companies are pushing out all the major talent, I don't believe these people are going to go away. They're going to start making their own games. They're going to start putting their games on GOG and Steam. Many of them are going to go on GOG. and people are going to begin buying their games on GOG. The only reason why people work hard is so that they can own things. That's the only reason why we work hard. We work hard so that we can have ownership of something. We can have things that we value. If you're told that you will own nothing and be happy, and everything will be community property, and it can be taken away from you at any given moment, and this is how we move to a better society. Guys, think about this. If you own nothing, you have no authority, but you have responsibilities. You are an SLAVE. You are not free. You are controlled. If you are not allowed to own anything and you have no authority, but you have responsibilities, you are an SLAVE. And that is what they are trying to turn everyone in the world into. Where you will, and they'll do it initially. This is how they operate. They'll do it by giving you the first one for free. You get the first crack rock for free. So, housing costs a lot. We're going to give you affordable housing. Look how cheap it is. You don't need to own houses anymore. Houses cost too much. You can rent this property at a much lower rate. Okay, so like what are rents costing right now? Like $3,000 a month? No, you can live in here for only $1,000 a month. That's only $12,000 a year. Oh my God, people are like, this is incredible. And we're going to offer flexibility so you can easily move from one place to another. This is the systems that they build. Okay. And they provide convenience and all of these other things. And the little by little, you don't understand that they're gradually increasing the rent. Bit by bit. So now you go, let's say, the first year was only $12,000 or $15,000. And then it goes up by the second or third year. And now you're paying $3,000 a month. Okay? Or maybe it's not $3,000. It's still better than the initial. Let's say it's $2,500. That still works out to $30,000 a year. Okay? And if you want this upgrade or you want this and this and this, by the time you're said and done, you end up paying what you would have been paying in the first place, but you're getting all of this convenience now. And you do the math, and if you live like this over the course of like 4 or 5 years, you've already spent close to $150,000 or $200,000 in rent. Like, imagine what you could have done with that kind of money, and you own absolutely nothing because you don't own your video games. You don't even own the digitals. Okay, so those can be taken away from you. Just imagine if Valve suddenly moves to a subscription model in the future. And don't be shocked when they do this. Don't be shocked. Where, you can still access all of your games, but, it's going to, if you want to access your games at a certain resolution, then that's going to cost you. Like if you want to play in 4K, right now you'll be able to play at 1080p or 1440p. But if you want to play in 4K, then you need to pay for this additional service. I'm being so serious. Like that's what they've done in the movie industry. That's what they do with Netflix. Oh, you can watch videos at 1080p, but if you want to watch them at if you want to watch them at 4K, it's going to cost more. Or you can watch them at 720p. But there's even a plan on Netflix which was like, I think was like 480. I had that at one point where you can watch videos at 480p. Okay, that's not even high resolution. 720p is higher resolution, and even YouTube these days, I don't even know if they count 720p as HD anymore. I don't think they do. It like starts at 1080. It used to be, and now it starts at 1080p. You can watch your videos at 480p, but if you want high definition 720p or above, it's going to cost you. Like that's where we're heading. They'll just keep finding new ways to tax you and to ensure that you own nothing, and then they'll get you with convenience. That's how they got us when it came to services like Lyft and Uber. Oh, it's so convenient. It's so affordable. And then once they have you hooked and sinker, they give you all this candy for free. And then once you're in the van, because the van, it says free candy, but then once you're in the van and you're tied up and, you can't move around anymore and the door slams shut behind you, now no more candy for you. because they have you locked in. Like, nowadays, if you want to use Uber Eats, if you're a person who's going to use Uber Eats, you have to have the the annual plan, or you're going to be paying insane amounts of money. And the thing is, even with the annual plan, you're still paying insane amounts of money. Like, there is no way to win. Okay? I think it was Mr. Who's the Boss who actually put out a video talking about how they rope you in, and then once they rope you in and they have you right where they want you, then they jack all the prices up on you. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, go and check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse. YouTube has been reducing or even eliminating ad revenue on many of my videos. If you want to help keep the content free and support my work, please consider becoming a paid subscriber in the Angry Guy Clubhouse. Inside, you'll get top-tier expat and password road travel tips, digital nomad guides, passive income strategies, pop culture and geek culture commentary, and hard-hitting manosphere content. Free subscribers have access to videos, podcasts, articles, and the community chat, plus receive the passive income blueprint and digital nomad blueprint just for joining. Paid subscribers unlock even more value, including exclusive guides like the How to Build an Online Business and 24-hour ebook, wealth building blueprints, and crypto updates. Join us today. Click the link in the description to take your journey to the next level.
You have the first installment of a game, literally only men on the team, because obviously. Then you have the second DEI Vogue garbage pile iteration that sells 0 copies and bankrupts the company. All women. All women and one dude with negative 50 testosterone levels. It's great. It's great.
Oh, Sony, of course, put that they wanted DEI initiatives into everything as well. So this has a sort of perfect storm, I guess, of just crappiness, looking like it's going to be coming out of the series, much like we saw with the Assassin's Creed Shadows, where Ubisoft just decided to take a Japanese samurai situation and turn it into a black gay samurai sort of.
Love it. I love it. Ubisoft cannot die fast. Honestly,
Black Lives Matter infused nonsense, which is destroying that entire company as we speak. It is a complete disaster over there. So this looks like much the same. And then, of course, the final death knell for the game is the voice actress that they chose is some absolute radical activist who is...
She's literally insane, okay? She is a diversity hire through and through. She is a woke activist, probably from birth, okay? It was written in the stars above that she will create great, disastrous change in the world. And my God, she's doing it.
It's absolutely crazy and just hates everything that gamers stand for in general. And once that came out, it looks like this game is going to be in big, big trouble. Now, as PlayStation revealed this, they got savaged in the comments, and they know that they're going to have trouble on their hands as the gamers are rising up once again against a replacement character in one of their beloved franchises. So, as you get into things, I'll wait for reviews. Would rather her be an assassin than a samurai, because she's another female samurai. We'll see. Just pass immediately. No commie activist deserves an income. Oh my. And placing the article from That Park Place where it was...
Oh, that picture, bro. That picture. Holy shit. Pictures really do say more than 1,000 words, don't they?
Veiled that this Erika Ishii is crazy and thinks that police are white supremacists and is a big supporter of the trans stuff.
I mean, if I looked like her, I would also do it. But as I say this, I am fully well aware that she actually has, like, 2 really hot pictures out online. Now, don't try to find them because it's honestly not worth it. I came across them when I was making a thumbnail for a different video. But yeah, turns out, well, anyone can look decent in the right angle. But don't try to search it. There's going to be a lot more disappointment than actually like, oh, wow, she's not actually disgusting in all ways. Only most. Not worth it, boys.
Identify as non-binary? Oh, that's excellent. I love that. That is.
Oh, yeah, this is the new thing. People are commenting this a lot. I'm non-binary. Yeah, people have been commenting this in the past couple of days. I'm non-binary and whatnot. There's also a different one. I forgot which one it is, but yeah.
Quality when I'm going to hit like on this one. And how about no? Given the cultural climate, the fact that you've decided to choose an unattractive female lead, I'm in wait and see mode. You had a sale, guaranteed sale, and in fact,
When this controversy first started about Ghost of Yotei, I did not look into it. I just saw I didn't see the actual voice actress. I just saw the character, the woman that's you're gonna be playing as, and I was like, well, this does not look that bad. Pretty normal. No, all accounts normal. Not your typical DEI garbage when she has 5 chins. So, not really that bad. Oh man, how wrong I was to think for a moment that that's not gonna be, the beginning of the end in this case, okay? Either you're still at Blade Hot, or it's 100% just a DEI garbage pile. It is what it is.
this is a real customer, guys, for real, that they're losing, and hopefully they listen.
No.
I had a platinum trophy for the first game, couldn't wait for the second. Now I'm not sure. Here's how you can make sure I never buy a sequel. Gaslight me, insinuate my eyes don't work, that she's incredibly attractive, and I'm just a sexist. Gaslight me.
Yeah, she's not incredibly attractive. She's just okay. That's the thing. She's kind of average-ish. And I'm not talking average-ish as your hot cashier at your local gas station. She's below that.
Insinuate I'm a potential customer is sexist or racist or phobic for simply noticing your design choice. It's not likely you'll be able to salvage this one, honestly. I can't imagine how you...
She's more like the convenience store cashier that just hit 30 and you can tell that she thought that she's going to achieve great things in life, but now she's kind of hitting the wall rapidly and her best days are over.
Win me over between now and release. Stay away from gaslighting. Focus on why the game looks fun. This is something that is just very... And the guy's like, look, I'm rooting... He's like, I'm rooting for you guys. I love Ghost of Tsushima. And you guys just need to focus on why the game's fun, why this is something that I actually want to play as a fan of the game. And it's amazing that these companies never end up doing this. It's like he knows exactly what the marketing play is going to be in advance. They're going to start shrieking about gamers and the like because this is what always happens. It's really, really sad when these SJWs get involved. I recommend heavily avoiding marketing the female lead as inherently great. I didn't buy the first game because I got to play as a man, so I won't be buying the second one because I get to play as a woman. Maybe if you essentially beg gamers to buy this game, maybe I'll decide to pick it up. However, this playing dumb about your own creative choices or gaslighting material potential customers as sexist is not a sales driver. It's a franchise destroyer. Good luck. You need it.
That's actually... Dude, this guy actually cares. Too bad they don't care to listen.
One resentful former customer.
And by the way, the moment I saw these flags right here, I knew that the response is gonna be just vile poison, and there we go. Do the world S favor and don't reproduce. Did you expect honestly anything else?
Former customer. So that is a big deal there, and this is the type of person that you would think these companies would want to listen to. And we've seen some smaller studios actually do this sort of thing. We've seen over the last couple of weeks, we saw Moon Studios and their dev over there and their CEO just talking about how they want to focus on gameplay and things like that. And it looks like the guy's a liberal. I mean, it does, based on some of the stuff that he said. But he also understands that his job's in entertainment. This is an entertainment industry, and you're supposed to provide players what they want. Now, when a sequel to a game that's very popular, you typically go out and you take the characters that people love and of course, just make a sequel with a story. We've seen that Dragon Age...
By the way, some people at this stage probably think that, hey, not buying a game because Hot Pass because the lead role is an insufficient activist is a bit too far. And I understand that, but that is sadly the wrong attitude to have here, okay? If they are willing to literally get someone to work for them who hates everything that you should stand for, that is a very, very, very harsh statement about what you actually want to achieve, how you want to do things, and whatnot. So sometimes you can separate art from the artist, sometimes you can't. And in gaming, I think we shouldn't separate these things at all. Because if you're gonna hire someone like this, that just tells me that you, the company who made this choice, care probably about that more than the people that you are trying to sell the game to.
And like I've mentioned in other videos, BlackRock is involved in there. There are all of these policies that these companies have agreed to follow when designing these games. They took that BlackRock money and now they have to, include diversity, equity, inclusion in their games, and they're basically screwed. Many of these companies are going to die off, and I think that it's even more than that. For example, you look at Sony right now, Sony has no competition. Microsoft has basically said that they surrender, they've given up on this generation, and they're moving on currently to the next Xbox, which is supposedly coming in 2026, while the PlayStation 6 was supposedly coming in 2027. Originally, it was slated for 2028. They were saying, but Sony's working on it for 2027. But the next Xbox, Microsoft has said that this is going to be the largest generational leap ever in gaming. With the next Xbox, even if it is the largest generational leap in gaming, I would still not buy it more than likely because I do not want to be stuck in their ecosystem. But on the other hand, for example, they do make their games available. Like you'll basically will get a copy of the game, to my understanding, if you purchase it on, like, for example, the digital store. You get a copy for your Xbox, and you also often get a copy for PC, so you can also play the game on PC. And I think that's a crazy value. Crazy value. At the same time, however, I suspect it's the same policy, kind of like Steam, where you don't actually own it. They can take it away from you at any time. And I think that absolutely is disgusting. It's 100% going to have DRM included in there. And so I did just look it up, and yeah, I was right. So, but at the same time, it does include DRM. When you purchase Microsoft's first-party games, you can often play them on both Xbox and PC through the Xbox Play Anywhere program. This means if you buy a game digitally on Xbox, you get access to the PC version at no additional cost on day one. However, regarding DRM-free versions, most Microsoft first-party games are not DRM-free on PC. The majority of these games require the Xbox app or Microsoft Store for installation and play, which includes some form of DRM. So yeah, I did use Copilot to just pull that up.
So I think not buying this game just purely based on the idea that the lead role is an insufferable activist is a 150% good idea.
The Veilguard is doing the opposite of that. They're taking the characters that they love and downplaying them in the new edition of it because they want to make it their own. And this reeks of very similar story choices right here. When you see the design team who's completely different and, of course, completely female, it looks like somebody who wants to, like, make their own.
But actually, let me check that. Was it that tweet? Ghost of Yo Dev Team. Images. Oh yeah. It is all females. And we actually did would or pass on.
All I can really say is that the woke mind virus is spreading rapidly. And, we're not getting the creme de la creme. We're not getting the best coders. They basically got rid of the team that developed the original Ghost of Yotei, and they replaced them with an all-female team. So, as to where you would originally have a team consisting of both men and women working in capacities that they are good at. So if you have a female coder that's very good at coding, she would be on that team. If she's a graphics designer, she would be there. If she's a storyteller, she would be there. Basically, it's about putting women in roles that they excel at and that they enjoy doing. No, now we're basically hiring people, certainly not based on merit, but solely based on gender and external characteristics. Even though you say that you want inclusivity, you basically get rid of all the men and replace them with all women. So you don't have a mixed team of developers anymore. You just basically have only women. If you look at what's happening at Halo Studios and Microsoft in general, they've been gradually, increasingly replacing all the male hires with female. So they've been firing up men, hiring only women. And if you and Halo Studio, that's at Microsoft. And if you look at Halo Studios, now the head of the department, the like lead designer, the CEO of Halo Studios, all of these people are now women. All of these, all of them have taken over, and then you have a few soy boys that are working in the background. And it's incredible because Microsoft is going to be killing off these franchises. These franchises are going to be dying off. There are always going to be the ponies and the Xbots who are going to buy these games regardless, and they're going to condemn you. This is where things get funny. The ponies, like when they put all this garbage in the games, you know, you'll have the ponies, the Xbots come out and start condemning gamers because they don't want to buy this crap. And it's like, bro, if you don't, you know, they said, if we don't like it, don't buy it. So we're not going to buy it. You buy the game, you can enjoy the game. And if we criticize it, we'll criticize it. And then they'll condemn you for not purchasing the game because they now understand that if you don't support the game, there likely will not be another one. Many of these franchises are now going to die off, and it's a great thing. The next generation for Sony is going to be much different, I think, because I've been warning you guys that because of these new chipsets from Snapdragon, from Qualcomm, that actually do have a compatibility later, the architecture has been changed so that they can actually run Windows programs, Windows applications, and that means even to some capacity Steam games, and Valve is working to optimize is working to optimize Proton. That's the OS that's developed to that has a compatibility layer built on top of it, so that we can run our games on things like the Steam Deck. They're actually working to make this compatible with ARM-based processors, specifically the Qualcomm Snapdragon new series of processors that can run Windows. As a result of that, guys, it's only a matter of time before we start to see, I truly believe, handhelds that are much smaller, cheaper, and that can begin running and playing, you know, current generation games. So you won't even need to play on a Switch. You can actually play on these hardwares, and you can play your GOG games, your games from GOG on these pieces of hardware as well. Modern Snapdragon processors now have their own upscaler, so they don't have DLSS, but they do have their own super resolution upscaler, similar to PSSR3 and DLSS, and that's a really incredible technology. They also support FSR3, which is a very popular upscaling technology right now. So, as a result of this, we are moving towards a future where companies like Sony potentially will not have a complete foothold, a complete dominance, a monopoly on games anymore. Oh, my game is more pretty. It's slightly more prettier. Yeah, you can keep your crap game. I'll download it on PC, or if I want a handheld, I'll go and get a handheld that can run my PC games or can run my games. And I'll pay more for that than giving Sony my money because I don't support them. You know, it's like someone said in my comments section, these companies have to die off. All right. Even if they come back on their hands and knees and, you know, they want forgiveness and they turn around and they try to give consumers what they want. Do not do it. Don't give into it. Don't buy it. All right. Don't support them. Let them die off. The comment actually came from my subscriber, Misto1510, and he said, see, here is the thing, Angry. Even if Ubisoft does correct their course, they should still be boycotted into oblivion with the rest of these companies. Never forget all the spite, hate, and vitriol they have spewed towards their fans. Anyone who returns to them is a simp for these companies. Exactly, the Xbots and the ponies. Leave them in the wind. Never buy their products. Do not ever forget their energy toward the fan base. I am personally done with these companies. I would rather play tabletops like Level 7, Escape, or Mage Knight. Screw these companies. And I agree with him 150% on what he said there. Absolutely not. We should not be buying products from these companies, even if they do reverse their course. Right now, Ubisoft is basically trying to muster up money and to get people to give them money for their products. They're like, it's basically a fire sale over there. They are desperate for cash. Dr. Disaster actually touches upon this. I wanted to talk about this for a little while now. So we're gonna actually watch the video. His channel will be linked in the description. And he goes further into the situation that this is basically a desperation thing right now. The Assassin's Creed Shadows lower prices has lowered their prices to entice buyers as pre-order numbers are absolutely awful. So, you know, they went woke. They put a black samurai in the first game set in Japan, and they basically disrespected Japanese culture. It was out, and honestly, I don't think that Japanese people would be as pissed off if it wasn't for the fact that they're being erased from their own culture, or they're basically being put second. They're being seconded. So it's absolutely insane what they've done here. And they thought no one would complain, no one would say anything. Now they're falling apart. You know, Star Wars Outlaws. The sales have been abysmal. They've completely messed up on that. And of course, a lot of the programmers that were at the company, they went woke and fired a lot of those guys. The ones that have remained there, a lot of them are also on strike. So they're between a rock and a hard place. They've lost 80% of the value of their company. They've gone from being like a $13 billion company over the course of 5 years, now down to being worth less than $1.5 billion. The investors are furious and lashing out at them. They're saying that they don't have an agenda when they clearly do have an agenda. They were being disrespectful to fans, and now they're basically trying to pander and tell fans, oh, we have a brand new Rayman on the way. Oh, and Beyond Dark, like I forget the name of this game. There's a game that's universally praised. Like, people have been wanting a copy, wanting a new version of it, Beyond Good and Evil, you know, for many, many years. And now they're like, oh, we're still working on Beyond Good and Evil. It's been like 16 years since the original game came out, and now they're like a new Beyond Good and Evil game is coming out. A new Rayman Legends game or Origin game is coming out. What? After all of this time? Yeah, we're bringing back all the classics that you guys have been asking for. These companies went woke. They're going broke. They destroyed all of their goodwill with the consumer. They've destroyed the trust with the consumer. And once the trust is gone, it's very hard to get it back or rebuild it. And the irony is that they're still trying to do that. Like Ubisoft is like, they're not like even like trust us. They're like, because after they've done all of these things, like canceled early access and all of this horrible things to further destroy the trust of the consumer, now they're like, oh, we're gonna be giving you the games that you really want, and we're gonna be dropping the prices on certain titles, so you know you can afford them. And look at all the value you're getting now. They're basically in a downward spiral right now. And as you know, as the comment said, we should not be supporting them. We should not let them off the hook, even if they try to submit. Do not forgive them. There's going to be the idiots who will jump right back and say, I've always loved Ubisoft. I've always, you know, and let's give them another chance. Guys, they never forget how they treated us. Never forget that they actually absolutely HATE'd us, you know, and made it very clear that they did. They called us dirty names. They said that we were horrible for just existing. They basically were horrific to us. Never forget what they did. Let these companies die off and let them get replaced. What do you guys think regarding all of this? Now they're begging for us to come back and buy their products and save them and support them, and it's just not going to happen. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.